All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight on this beautiful, amazing Sunday night, unless you're on the East Coast. Good Monday morning to you. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I certainly did. I got to spend some time with my lady again last night, and I'll mention a little bit more about that in just a little bit here. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. And before we get to tonight's crazy dating stories from Reddit, I have 5 Reddit postings to go over that are very interesting. And I'm going to share my feedback regarding them. And hey, you can learn a thing or two about how to better your dating in the modern world if you apply these principles. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. But before I get to that, I just want to make you folks aware, whether you're here watching this live or down the road on the replay, I did a Walking with Purpose live stream earlier today with a very critical topic that I feel everybody should watch. And it was episode number 218 of my Walking with Purpose live series. So if you're, catching this down the road on the replay, look for episode number 218. If you're watching live right now, as we're live, or over the next day or so, it's, the latest episode. It was regarding alcohol and alcoholism and alcoholics. And, if you're somebody that's struggling with alcoholism, or you know of somebody who's suffering from it, please, check out this video and share, that video with as many people as possible. I shared my experiences with alcohol that I had in my, 20s, and how I rose above it, how I tackled it and moved past it, to the point of today, where I hardly drink. I'll have a social drink every now and then, but it's every once in a great while. And I also don't feel the need to have alcohol at any given time. I will have a drink every now and then, a beer or a glass of wine, or one of those apple ciders. I love the cider drinks, even though a lot of guys say they're not that manly. It's still a manly enough drink. It's a unisex drink, for Christ's sake. So I'll have a drink every now and then, but I just don't feel the need to have a drink. And for those of you out there that feel the need to have a drink just to make it through your day, please check out this stream. It will completely change your life and might allow you to rise above it and completely better yourself and put yourself in a better place. So check that out. Also, yesterday I finished another 5 episodes. Well, not newly recorded. I finished releasing another 5 episodes of Bedtime Stories with Eli, where, I put out individual stories such as the ones I'm going to be doing here tonight. So if you want some more dating stories and dating advice, go to my YouTube channel's homepage and look for the playlist Bedtime Stories with Eli. And I think there's now 40 episodes now. There's plenty to catch up on, so check it out if you'd like. Now, before we... Derek, you're back, man. You can't live without me, huh? Good evening, host. That's a really nice shirt. I am a big fan of Under Armour clothes. I was just going to talk about that, Derek. I was just going to talk about that. I'm glad you mentioned it, because I was just going to thank the wonderful, amazing lady that purchased this Under Armour shirt I'm wearing here tonight. My lady gave me this shirt last night. It's a really, really, really nice shirt. And, I'm the kind of guy that, I have difficulty accepting gifts, especially from the ladies I've dated, because I'm a little more old school, where, I feel like I'm the one that should be taking care of the financial stuff and taking my lady out and getting her a nice gift every now and then. But hey, it's the modern world and women want to do their part. And, my lady just wanted to show her appreciation, for what I've done for her during the first 5 months of our relationship. So, yeah, it was hard to accept, but I'm going to accept it because it's a really freaking stellar shirt. I love it. I've also purchased many other Under Armour products as well. I have some nice Under Armour t-shirts. I think I've even worn some on some of my pre-recorded videos. I have some very nice Under Armour sweats. And I got to tell you, Derek, Under Armour is my new go-to company over Adidas, Nike, or anything else, man. What I really like about their clothing is it's very, very high quality. You can feel the quality, right? And it feels like very, very good and strong material, which it is, but it's also very light at the same time. And these, Under Armour products, they last forever from what I hear. So I'm all in with Under Armour, and this is an unpaid endorsement, but thank you again to my lady for this amazing shirt. She said she felt this would be a nice shirt for me to wear professionally from my in-studio show. So I decided to surprise her by wearing it tonight. You know what I also said, Derek and everyone else? I was also, telling my lady, I'm like, I really like this shirt, and I really appreciate you getting me this shirt so much that I probably will never wear it. I will just put it in a frame and put it on my wall. I was kind of being a little sarcastic, right? And I almost thought about even actually doing that. But tonight, the last minute, I said, you know what? I just got off the phone with my lady. She's probably watching right now. Let me make her night. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. All right. So let's get right to it. Crazy dating stories, number 7. So here's how this show's going to go tonight. I have 5 Reddit stories I'm going to be going over. I'm going to go over the first 2 or 3 during the first part of the show, depending on how long the first 2 or so take. I'll do either 2 or 3 during the first part. Then I'll take a quick break, play some wonderful, amazing, royalty-free YouTube music, and then come back and finish the rest. So without further ado, let's go ahead and switch on over to the browser source and get to the first posting. This is from the subreddit Dating. And the topic is, or the title, the original poster stated is, am I just incredibly unattractive, or is OLD online dating just easy mode for women? WTF is it? One more time. Am I just incredibly unattractive? Is OLD online dating just easy mode for women? What the beep is it, right? Too early to cuss, right? I don't cuss at the beginning of the videos. Don't want to get demonetized, right? And as you can see below, sorry, this post has been removed by the moderation of our dating. So I don't know why. The comments are still there. The original posting isn't. But like I've said in the past, Coach Eli always has backups and snapshots. So let's click one button here, and magically it reappears. There we go. There we go. Magically it reappears. I have learned that between the time I prepare for my live shows or pre-recorded videos of postings I'm going to go over, sometimes they get removed. So now everything I prepare for, I also take a screenshot for situations like these, right? All right. So let's read this. He says, I need advice. So I'm 25. Can't attract women for shit. Well, dude, that's a crappy attitude. If you think that you can't attract women for shit, then that's what's going to happen. You only get back from the universe what you put out. So if you put out a crappy attitude, what do you think you're going to get? Nothing. Let's continue. Get like a match every week or 2 via online dating. That's because you are not matching with enough women. You're not. Maybe your profile is crappy. Maybe you're not taking great quality, high resolution pictures, some of them being full body pictures, others being just headshots. Maybe it's your pictures. Maybe you don't have enough written in the written portion, right? Have you, maximized your profile to be the best possible profile to actually attract women? And even then, you still have to, if you're on a swipe left or swipe right app like Bumble or Hinge or something like that, you gotta, swipe right or say yes to as many women as possible, right? Because not every single one is going to, match with you. They may not be attracted to you or like your profile or resonate with your profile, or maybe they've got 5 or 10 other matches going on, and maybe they'll match with you and not respond to you right away because they have, what they perceive to be a better option, right? So this is all about your attitude, brother. People that struggle with online dating, it's about your attitude. I met my lady through online dating. We've been together for 5 months, and it's going great. And the previous 4 women I dated were from online dating, and we had great relationships for years. So anyway, let's continue here. Am in university, on track for a first, currently doing an internship, have a car, saving for a house, so I think I've got some potential going for me. You certainly do. And that's great. You're focused on your purpose. But your attitude sucks. Your attitude sucks because, you're probably swiping right or trying to connect with maybe 5 or 10 women. And because none of them are matching with you, you're thinking that, you're doing something, wrong, or there's something wrong with you, right? You need to open up your floodgates and you need to swipe right on 100 women, right? Think about that. Swipe right on more women and keep trying each and every day. That's what it takes, man. That's just the way it is. You're just not trying hard enough. That's the bottom line. Let's see here. Although, to be fair, I did leave these things until very late. So what you're saying is you were not focusing on your purpose and trying to better yourself until as of late. And honestly, that is a major reason why you wouldn't be able to attract women, because you were jerking around for a little while and now you're starting to focus on your purpose. So you were a lost puppy and women were seeing you as a lost puppy, so they probably didn't give you the time of day, even if you started talking with them. But for the life of me, I can't get a girlfriend. Have never had a girlfriend, and I just don't understand it. It's all in your attitude, brother. You're out here whining and complaining like a female dog, bro. Right? And now, a lot of you guys are anonymous out here on Reddit and the internet, which I get that. But if you actually publicly put yourself out there and people knew who you were and they could search you and find you, women would be instantly repelled by the way you're talking right here, bro. That's the bottom line. You're exuding more feminine energy than masculine energy. Let's continue. My family are like, oh, you could have one if you tried. Yeah, bingo. Yeah, I'm going to give your family a big round of applause for that. You could have one if you tried. Food for thought, right? Food for thought. But I've tried, and it feels like it's impossible. You haven't tried hard enough, brother. You've given up on yourself. How hard have you tried, man? Every single man goes through the same thing that you're going through, but we work through it and we keep pushing forward until eventually we come across someone that resonates with us and wants us as much as we want them, just like the lady I'm with today. Food for thought, man. I think I've got a decent friend group. Maybe you do. That has nothing to do with the way you encounter women or approach women. But they're all in relationships now, and it's literally just me who can't sort this one component of my life out. Well, dude, it's about how you see yourself, okay? And you haven't described what you look like. Are you in decent shape? Do you dress nice? Do you smell nice? Do you keep yourself groomed, right? What's your communication style like, bro? Because your attitude, frankly, sucks. And your attitude is not only going to not attract women, like it would repel even guys like me from wanting to be your friend. Your attitude is crappy, bro. Just change your attitude around. And if you're a little out of shape, get into better shape. If you don't wear the best clothing, buy some better clothing. Okay? If you don't groom yourself, start grooming yourself. Improve yourself and trust me. your options will increase tremendously. Like, I think about it a lot and really want to give up, but it's still constantly in the back of my mind nagging me. Dude, you're 25 years old. You're still young. Now, by this point, you should have at least had one, maybe two girlfriends. But like you said, you started focusing on your purpose a little bit later than most guys typically do. Most guys start to focus on their purpose in their early 20s, right? Some in their, mid to late teens. I started working when I was 15 and a half. So I started focusing on my purpose and making money at 15 and a half. Maybe, you weren't focused on that until now at 25. So maybe now's the time for you to start, turning your attitude around. You're starting to make some money. I'm assuming, you're working now and you've got a car and you're saving for a house and all that. Great. You don't have to own a house at 25, bro, to get a woman. But I'm sure you have, a nice little apartment and you have a car, right? And that's all it takes, man. And to be happy with the job you're doing and have a happy, positive attitude. That's it. That's it, man. Honestly, life would just be better if I could just let this one thing go. But I can't. It is so annoying. Dude, this is feminine energy, right? You see, dude, you need to live your life for yourself, not live your life based on the fact that if you can get a woman or not, right? Right now, you are being dependent on having a woman in your life to be happy. And that is the thing that repels women the most. You need to first be happy within yourself and happy to be single and just happy to be alive. And then you will naturally attract women because they will be attracted to you because of the man you are, based on how you feel about yourself and see yourself, not based on the fact that you can get a woman or not, right? Wow, man. Wow. All right, here. Give me just a second here. Let's see. Let's go back to the actual posting where the comments are at. There we go. And let's read some of the comments and see what the people are saying below. We need more context. Yeah, we certainly do. Have you been on dates? How often are you on these dating apps? How do you shoot your shot usually? Answers. I just ask the same things in different ways. I agree. Not enough information. All he's doing is whining and complaining, further setting him back from attracting women with that attitude. Yeah, based on the post, it sounds like original poster may not be looking for a GF for the right reasons, and girls pick up on that. No, it's not necessarily that. It doesn't matter what you're looking for. Even women that are looking for a casual fling wouldn't give this guy the time of day. Women are looking for a man that has confidence and is cool, calm, and collective and laid back and happy within himself and not come off needy, weak, thirsty, or desperate, right? This guy is coming off as weak, needy, thirsty, and desperate. If you're just looking to not be single anymore and check off some box acquiring a woman, a lot of women will be put off by that vibe. I couldn't have said that any better myself. I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Bingo. It looks like the Reddit crowd is getting a lot smarter now. These are some really, really good comments here. For once. Oh, man. The OP original poster said that he's getting a match every week or two. Shouldn't you be able to ballpark a conservative percentage of how many matches result in dates? Give me a second, folks. Hang on. Okie dokie. I had to respond to a text message quick. I'm sorry. Yeah. I just don't think this guy is trying to match with as many people as possible, as many women as possible. He's not putting enough effort into swiping right on a bunch of women or sending a bunch of women messages. If it's a site like Match.com, maybe his pictures aren't that great. Maybe his profile isn't written that great. I mean, he needs to better represent himself. That's what's happening there. Okay. If he's only getting a match every week or two, it's because, his profile isn't that great. So if he's swiping right on 100 women and only getting 2 matches, 1 or 2 matches, there's something wrong with the profile. If you swipe right and you're a decent looking guy with a great profile, you have nice pictures. If you swipe right on 100 women, you should get about anywhere from 5 to 10 matches, sometimes more. It just depends, okay? But 2, yeah, you're just not putting in enough effort, and your profile and pictures probably suck. Dating apps are oftentimes about 60% men. Yeah, true, maybe even more. There are far more men than women out there, and these women are getting bombarded by hundreds of connections each day. So you have to really stand out. Look up the ratio between men and women on just Tinder alone. Women on Tinder don't even make up 30% of users. That shows how thirsty men are nowadays, a lot of men, right? And that's part of the issue. And that's not even subtracting the women who only have their preferences set to just women. Women are just a lot less likely to use dating apps. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. Women will use dating apps. That's not the case. But women go to different sites, and men typically, women choose 1 or 2 sites, and men typically choose many sites, right? And men are actively trying to connect with more women than women are with men. Women don't have to try to connect with men because men are much more thirsty. That's the problem right there. So, yeah, I mean, that probably does sound about right. There are probably more men, maybe, 60, 70% men on a dating app and 30 to 40% women. But that's still a large amount of women. And if you're, a guy that takes care of himself, you're decent looking, you have nice pictures where you're dressing nice and you look happy, right? And you write a decent profile, that's grammatically correct and the spelling is proper, and, you're honest and you state what you're seeking, right? You should have no problem. This is more about his profile not being good enough. Yeah, many women I know don't use them. A lot of lesbians on Tinder when I had one and set both. That has nothing to do with this. There are all different types of people on dating apps, and typically, sexual orientation is stated on dating apps, so that doesn't matter. LOL. I got banned from Tinder for no reason or warning multiple times, so I don't use it anymore. Well, you were probably spamming. That's what happened, right? I don't have any active online dating apps. I prefer to meet people in person when trying to date. Well, that's the best way to do it if you have that option. But here's the great part about online dating. Okay, sometimes you're not going to find someone that you're completely compatible with that so happens to just live right around the corner from where you're at or in your backyard, figuratively speaking, right? Sometimes the love of your life may live half an hour or an hour away. My lady lives a little over an hour away from me. I would have never met her and have had the great relationship I have with her today had it not been for online dating. You just have to know how to use online dating and be in control of the online dating world. Don't let it control you. That's the answer, plain and simple. Plain and simple. I'm 26 female and seem to just scare people away, so goes both ways. God, I hate this. Well, ma'am, that probably has to do with your attitude. Maybe you're a really attractive woman, and maybe the way that you respond to guys leads them to believe that it wouldn't be worth their time to get to know you. Like some women, they'll connect with you in the online dating world. When I was single, especially on sites like Bumble and Hinge, right, where it's a swipe left, swipe right, or heart to like or X to not like, right, like on Hinge, right? Okay. people will connect with you, right? And in the past, women would match with me and they would send me a message just saying hi, H-I, or they would send me a Giphy saying hi, right? What's that going to do for me, right? That doesn't show any effort. If a woman is really interested in you, she's going to respond and say, let's say your name is Jack. Hi, Jack. How are you doing today? It's nice to meet you out here on Bumble, Hinge, Match, whatever, right? You have a really nice profile, and I'd be interested in getting to know you better. How's your day going? And, what are you seeking out here? Would you like to chat and get to know me better? Put a little effort into it, right? So you're probably one of those women that just responds, hi, 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 or sends a Giphy because you have so many, options that, you're just, trying to keep your options open and you're not making the effort. But typically when women do that, it's because they're more focused on their top option. Women will give the most effort to their top option, and they will send more than just a hi to their top option. If you get just a hi or a little Giphy, that means you're the lone man on the totem pole, and it's just time to move on from that. I mean, you can block that person, remove the match, or just let it sit, because you never know. But more than likely, nothing's going to come out of it. Original poster writes back and says, well, at least we're in the same boat. Well, that's not a good way to look at it, man. That's a crappy attitude. Your attitude still sucks in the comments section. Okay. LMFAO, who needs Bumble, Tinder, or Hinge when there is R dating? Well, come on. You're not going to come on Reddit to hook up. People are, here from all over the world. At least with dating apps, they're more localized within, a certain radius. Typically, it's anywhere from, 5 to 200 miles of where you're at, which is reasonable driving distance. What dating apps have you tried and what pics do you use? Exactly! For guys, download a bunch of apps and swipe on all. LMAO. I said the same thing. I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Man, are you speaking of the truth? There's the answer right there. Let me read that again. What dating apps have you tried and what pics do you use? Women are also very visual creatures nowadays, right? And if a woman looks at your pictures and is completely physically attracted to you, it almost doesn't matter what you write. I say almost, but not completely, because if she's completely physically attracted to your pictures and then she likes what you wrote, you're a decent guy, you're seeking a long-term genuine relationship, you're not here to play any games or have any hookups, that's what you're seeking. Your pictures, this guy's pictures, are probably horrendous. For guys, download a bunch of apps and swipe on all. Right. You can swipe right on every single woman, 1,000 plus women. And if your pictures suck and your profile sucks, you'd be lucky to get a couple matches every week. Original poster says Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, and a variety of pics. Why don't you post some pics here without your head and show us what you look like, dude? Now some guy says, try OkCupid. It's the one I've had the most success on. There's a bit less of an emphasis on looks. It is still important, but you have a lot more opportunity to express your personality. You're wrong about that. And looks are, the importance of looks are not going to change regardless of the site you're on. And the reason why you're saying that about OkCupid is because OkCupid does have, swipe left and swipe right aspect. But before that even came out, OkCupid was an online dating site where you can actually send full-length messages to women right away, and they can send them to you right away, and they allow you to write a full-length profile. But as far as you saying there's a bit less of an emphasis on looks on OkCupid, no, dude. No. That doesn't change regardless of whatever site you're on. Recently, consensus on OkCupid is that it's really gone downhill in the past few years. I agree. Exactly. I was kind of using OkCupid when I was single before I met the woman I'm with now. And um, I would send a lot of messages, and I literally got only one or two responses, right? It has gone downhill. I think it's turned more into like a hookup site, and I don't see it surviving that much longer into the future. I don't get a lot of matches. Yeah, neither did I. And I believe I even paid for 1 month of the premium access to it. And it didn't really change anything. It's just people are not taking OkCupid seriously anymore. The three most active sites, I'd have to say, where you'll have your best shot of finding somebody. Number one, the best one is Match.com, in my opinion. And then after that, Hinge, and after that, probably Bumble. And women have to respond first on Bumble, and I shared my thoughts about Bumble on a show I did last week, regarding Bumble getting sued for, discriminating against men not being able to respond first. Despite that, it is an active site, and there is a lot of match potential on there. So those are the three best ones that, I would suggest. OkCupid is really, really a waste of your time nowadays. It's just gotten more predatory and money hungry with its features. Yeah, that's what's happening. There's a lot of advertising on there because there's a free aspect to it. And then when you pay for it, it still doesn't make a difference. It used to be a core feature that you could send someone an introductory message that they'd see with your profile. Now you have to pay to do some super like type BS, and premium accounts get a whopping one of those a week for free. Totally ruined the unique utility it had. Yeah, I mean, OkCupid, in my opinion, not even worth a second of your time. Let me read a couple more here, then we'll get to the next posting here. We are at 32 minutes. Derek says, like it or not, with modern dating, good pics get the chicks. Right, Derek. Like, honestly, do men want unattractive women? So why would women want unattractive men? This is what I don't get about these guys that whine and complain, right? If you just take care of yourself, get yourself into decent shape like myself, wear some nice clothing like myself, have a great personality like myself, you're still not going to get all the women, but you're going to eventually find one. You'll get some matches, and eventually, after you weed out all the bad seeds, because even though you match with some women or many women, most of them are just not going to be the right fit. But eventually you'll find the one. But you got to take care of yourselves. If you want a good, attractive woman, you got to be a good, attractive man. It works both ways, but these guys just don't get it, Derek. That's the point. These guys just don't get it. That's that. It has, depending on perspective. It looks like now my messages to women will never be seen unless they like my profile as well. So why bother sending a message if it's unlikely to ever be looked at? Right. And you can figure out the sites where it's a waste of your time to send women messages. Match.com. Before I met my woman I met her on Match.com, they added this feature to their premium upgrade, the premium service upgrade, which is what I'm trying to say, where they will tell you on the profiles you come across whether the woman is a subscriber or not. So that way, if you send a woman a message that's a subscriber, that they're going to automatically get it because they're a paid member. Now, on Match.com, there's also another feature you can purchase for $9.99 per month additional, and I suggest doing it if you're going to use Match. It's called the Reply for Free feature, meaning that when you pay an extra $9.99 per month, you can even message women that are not subscribers, and they'll still be able to get your message and reply to you because you, in essence, have paid an extra $10 to allow any woman to reply to you, whether she's paid or not, a paid subscriber or not. So you guys have to take that all into consideration when you're doing this. You're just not doing a good job, of finding out how to work these sites as best as possible. there's a lot more to a person than what they put down in their profile. That's why, you send a few messages if you connect, and you ask for their number, and you get on the phone, and you see how they are on the phone. It amazes me how many people, the stories I see regarding how many people meet today that don't even have a phone call. And they don't even exchange numbers. Maybe they'll exchange Instagram or something, and they'll meet for coffee or something, and it's a waste of time, right? You should talk on the phone for a little bit before you meet someone to hear their tone of voice and hear how nice they are and how easy they are to get along with, and then decide if you want to meet, right? Have a little patience. It'll go a long way. The best written one could be tied to someone extremely insufferable. Oh, yeah. Yeah, some people are really, really good at putting on an act for a while, including on their profile. That's why, you got to talk to women and men, for the ladies, by phone before you meet. And when I was single in the past, there were some women that would say, I don't really like talking on the phone with someone until after I meet them, right? Whenever a woman would tell me that, that's a big red flag, because in essence, what she's saying is that most of the times when she's talked to guys on the phone, they heard something in her tone of voice, or they just kind of figured out that, she's just not the right fit, right? So if a man or a woman is not willing to have a brief 30 to 60 minute max phone conversation before meeting in person, then, don't meet them, because they're trying to hide something, or they've had issues with phone calls in the past where people have figured out that they're just not date worthy because of the way they show up on the phone call, their tone of voice, what they're saying, their lack of enthusiasm, etc. That's what it is, right? Have common sense, folks. Give yourself the best possible chance to find the right person, and don't waste your time with people that aren't excited to want to get to know you. In any situation, there are winners and losers. Don't make COVID an excuse. Well, I agree with that. And things are getting better. We're all vaccinated now. We've got, even booster shots. I don't think COVID is really an issue anymore. And that's where we're going to stop this first posting here. Let's get to the next one here, and then we're going to take a quick break and go and then do the last three during round two. We are at 37 minutes. All right, this next posting is from the subreddit relationships, and the original poster's title is "How to Let a Guy Down Nicely." How to let a guy down nicely. When I first read this, I was like, I get it. Let's read what they wrote. I'm a 27 female and met a 28 male at work. Yes, I am already kicking myself for pursuing someone at work. That's your first big mistake. I have talked about this before, and I will say it again. Never, ever, ever date anyone you work with, for a variety of reasons, okay? If you go through a breakup, especially if you're the guy breaking up with a woman that's really into you, okay, she will make your life miserable at work, and she will set you up for sexual harassment or something like that. She will retaliate, and you will more than likely lose your job. That's how spiteful and vindictive and controlling some women are. So never give anyone that opportunity to cost you your job by dating someone in the workforce. Okay? But yeah, she pursued somebody at work. Many people still do it. Some people have success with it and they're happy and they get married, but the majority don't work out, and it just causes nothing but issues because you still have to see each other every day, especially if you work in the same department. We only talk maybe 5 times at work. How many times does it take to figure out if you want to hang out with somebody outside of work or not? And he was nice. He was a really, really nice, sweet, cute guy, right? Nice, sweet, cute guy. Nice guy. You know what they say about nice guys, right? My lady says I'm the exception. I tell her I'm not a nice guy, I'm a good guy. She goes, you're a nice guy, but you're not a sissy. You're a good man. Okay, I get that. But you know when people say the nice guy stigma, what they typically mean, right? He works in a different department now. Oh, okay. So that's a good thing you're not in the same department. And he emailed me asking if I'd like to get coffee with him. So I responded and we met for coffee outside of work. Okay. So what happened? We met for coffee for an hour and a half. That's a long ass coffee meeting. And that's boring. Never, ever, 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 guys, never meet a woman for coffee. Okay? Never meet a woman for coffee, especially during the daytime. If you're even going to decide to meet for coffee, do it at night because the night's a little bit more dark and romantic and it'll give you more of a chance for some type of romance to happen. And that's what you want. If not, then why are you two hanging out going on the date, right? We met for coffee for an hour and a half and I just wasn't feeling it. You probably never felt it in the first place, ma'am. So why'd you go out with him? He was very eager. That's why you were probably not feeling it. He was coming off eager, desperate, insecure, weak, right? Needy, right? Right? All behaviors that repel women. Almost aggressive. Blurt out that we should go on a weekend trip already. Already on a weekend trip, dude? You're on a first date. You're on a first date and she's a coworker and you're sitting there talking for coffee or talking to coffee and you're talking about taking her away on a weekend getaway. Wow. Got defensive when I said I was meeting a friend later for dinner. Okay, this guy is very insecure and he also kind of sounds a bit mentally and emotionally unstable. It kind of sounds like his upbringing wasn't the best, didn't get enough strokes as a kid, right? Has some past, trauma, probably stemming back to his childhood or a previous relationship that's unresolved. So, red flags. Good for you, ma'am. He texted me 20 minutes after coffee and asked to hang out again because he didn't have a clue that you just weren't interested. You showed him absolutely no interest on the first date, and he's still trying to get you. Guys, if a woman is into you, you're going to see it in her eyes. She's going to want to sit closer to you, okay? She's going to be really sweet to you. She's going to make it real easy for you to go on over there and hold her hand and make out with her or something like that. If the woman is stiff as a doorknob, right, then come on, put two and two together there. And then he texted me nightly. He's obsessing. Rejection breeds obsession, like Coach Corey Wayne says, for at least 3 hours at a time. Now he's stalking you and harassing you. These conversations never went anywhere and were about stupid things. He asked to hang out again, and I told him I would see him around at work. Now you're stringing him along because you don't have the balls to tell him no because you work with him and you don't want to deal with the repercussions of this at work, which is why you should never, ever ask somebody out on a date or date someone from the workplace. So again, he asked to hang out again, and I told him I would see him around at work thinking he'd get the hint. He let a week pass, and he texted me at 6 a.m. this morning asking if we could hang out again. This dude has no freaking clue. And eventually, it's going to get to the point of where he may lose his job over this, have the police call on him, or have a restraining order on him. This guy does not have a freaking clue at all. I was hoping he got the hint when I told him I'd see him at work. Oh, man, you're not telling him to stop talking to you. You're telling him, I told him I'd see him at work. To him, that's an inexperienced young guy. He's taking that as there's still some kind of hope or interest. You got to be firm and say, hey, I'm just not feeling this. I'm not interested in anything romantic with you. I'm really sorry it didn't work out. I don't want to make this awkward at work, but I just wanted to be honest with you, right? Until you do that, he's going to keep trying and trying and trying because you haven't put your foot down yet. But he obviously didn't because, ma'am, you confused him with what you're saying. I really just want to ghost him at this point. You can't because you're coworkers. But A, that is mean and I don't want to unless I have to. Well, ma'am, you can just tell him you're not interested instead of saying, I told him I'd see him at work. And B, we will still see each other at work since our workplace isn't that big. Well, ma'am, you put yourself in this position. Again, I would never, ever ask somebody out or date someone from the workforce. I'm not saying it can't work, but it's quite rare. And if it doesn't work, it's going to create a bunch of issues, even leading up to possibly losing your job. Okay. I just don't like him and I don't want to waste his time or mine. Then why don't you tell him that in a polite way? Just say, I'm not ready for something right now. And, I'm just not interested in pursuing anything further with you. I'm really sorry about that. I do hope you understand. And I don't want to make this awkward at work. I think you're a good guy, but I'm just not interested in pursuing something. That's all you have to do. Okay. Then you can just start to work through it and he'll stop bothering you. And if he doesn't bother you, then you may have to call the police, report him at work, to human resources, or get a restraining order. But at least you have to try first to tell the guy you're not interested, ma'am. You're not doing that. You're pussyfooting around it because you don't want to make it an awkward situation at work. And too late. You already crossed that line, I don't want to tell him I'm seeing someone else because I don't know if we are actually dating or he just wants to be friends. Who cares what you do? And why do you care, regarding what he cares about what you do? That's your business, ma'am. Wow. Because I don't know if we are actually dating or he just wants to be friends. He seems like he wants to date, but I don't know what to assume anymore. How should I handle this? I've already answered the question. You need to tell this guy you're not interested. It's just not going to work with him in that way. You can try to figure out to say it as politely as possible. Just say, I realize that, it's not good to date somebody in the workforce. You can BS him. You didn't feel it, but you don't have to even tell him that. You can say, I just realized, I really don't want to date somebody in the workforce. It's just not a good thing. And, unfortunately, I got to move on. I hope this doesn't affect our work relationship because you're a good guy, but I just realized this isn't the best thing to do for either one of us. Just tell him that. That's it. Thank you. TLDR, how to let a guy down that I met at work when he is being very persistent. You mean very weak, needy, desperate, insecure? Let's read a few comments here before we take the first break. Remember that if he's a decent guy, he'll get over any sort of hurt feelings very quickly. This guy has little experience, and it doesn't sound like he's in the best place mentally and emotionally. It sounds like he has unresolved issues or he's just very inexperienced. This will teach him, an experience that will help him in a similar situation down the road should he encounter a situation like this down the road. If he's not, no amount of trying to find the perfect words will stop him from being a jerk. She has not come out and flat out told him she's not interested. She is beating around the bush because she doesn't want to hurt his feelings or create issues at work. But she's creating more issues by pussyfooting around it. A simple text, hey there, I enjoyed our coffee, but it feels like you want something more here than I do. You don't even have to say that. Just say, you know what, I just realized it's not the right thing to date somebody in the workforce. You're a good guy, but I'm sorry I made a mistake. I apologize for wasting your time. And, this is a learning lesson for the both of us. I'm happy to be friends around the office, but I'm not looking for anything more than that. Well, you don't have to say that. Just say what I said a second ago. Make it simple, right? Make it really simple. Apologies if this is misreading your intent, but I've found it's always best to be clear about this sort of thing. Thanks. That's just too long and too run on. Just be direct and get to the point and say, hey, Bob, hey, Billy, hey, Jack, hey, John, whatever his name is, right? I got to be honest. I realized that it's not best for me to date somebody in the workplace. I shouldn't have, done this in the first place. It's a lesson learned for me. I just, don't want to cause any issues if something doesn't pan out. And I don't want to put either one of our jobs at risk, and leave it at that. Best of luck to you. If I see you around the office, I'll say hi. But at this point, because of what I just said, I'm not interested in pursuing something further. So that's that. You're giving them the plausible deniability out to allow him to save face, being friendly and being clear. And if he responds like, oh, totally, I'm only interested in being friends to begin with. No guy's interested in just being friends. Come on, spare us with that BS. You pretend to believe in because that kind of face saving helps avoid awkwardness at the office, and that's what she's trying to do. She realizes she made a mistake. And I bet you if this guy was a good-looking guy with a great attitude and she was really into him, it wouldn't really matter if he was from the workplace. It should still matter, because no matter how good something is, I still wouldn't date someone from the workplace. But I will tell you, if this woman was really into this guy, physically attracted to him, and loved his personality and was really into him, it wouldn't matter to her if he's a coworker or not. It should, but it wouldn't. She's just not into him. And now she's trying to avoid the awkwardness because she decided to go on a date with him and didn't feel it from the get-go. I cannot stress enough, do not say, I am happy to be friends, unless you actually mean it and do want to be friends. I agree. Big round of applause for that. How many times have guys said, okay, we can be friends, thinking that that's going to be the way into our heart at some point? No, that is only a way to firmly cement yourself permanently into the friend zone. Never accept friendship if that's not what you want. Hey, if you're a happy dude and you sincerely want to be friends with a woman and you have no romantic interest in her legitimately, not a problem. But most guys in that situation want something romantic. Don't try to get to her heart by pretending to be her friend and accepting friendship. Never going to work. Especially with someone who already has demonstrated poor boundaries and difficulty getting a hint. No is a complete sentence. Just not feeling it is enough. She didn't tell him that. She said, in general, to us here, let's go back and read this, okay? We met for coffee for an hour and a half, and I just wasn't feeling it. She didn't tell him that. She told that to us, that being around him, she wasn't feeling it deep within. But she didn't tell him that. Had she told him that, maybe this guy wouldn't be trying to still pursue her. That's the bottom line. Let me see here. Where do we leave off? Let's see. I wanted to respect your time to let you know that I'm not interested in a relationship outside of our work as colleagues. It's okay to say, I agree. Big round of applause for that. I've been saying that all along. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Do not leave the option of friendship on the table with someone you really don't want to be friends with, as they will use that to keep harassing you. Also, they won't take no or not right now, or you're great, but just not for me as an answer. It is crazy. When I was in my 20s, yeah, I got friend zoned a few times, right? I still got dates, but I accepted friendship with some women because I figured it would be a way into their heart. And, I wouldn't contact them every day, but every couple of weeks or so, I would check in with them, and they would respond every now and then they eventually stopped responding, right? And then as you get older, into like your 30s and stuff, you start to realize your value as a man, and you start to build your confidence to the point of where if a woman is not really into you, and you'll know that from the very beginning, then you'll just let her go and not worry about chasing her or trying to convince her to be with you. You don't have to do that. Let's see. Let me see here. This is the best way to go about it. Original poster should just copy, paste, send. I agree. This right here. Where was it? This is what he should copy and paste right here. I'm going to highlight this. I wanted to respect your time to let you know that I'm not interested in a relationship outside of our work as colleagues. That's it. End of story. If he keeps on coming at you, then you got to tell him, look, right now this is getting a bit too much. And if you don't stop bothering me, I'm going to have to report this to human resources. And if that continues to get bad, she may have to call the police to get a restraining order. But I'm sure the guy will get the hint before it gets to that point. Don't copy paste without sorting out some typos. I'm happy to be friends. Not I happy to be. Come on. All right. Yeah, I get it. You're right. You're just making fun of some spelling errors and grammar errors above. And even if a decent guy doesn't get over his hurt feelings quickly, he will not make his hurt feelings your problem. Okay. Wise words. I'm saving this comment, and I'm a guy. Ha ha ha. All right. All right. Let's read just one more, and then we're going to take our first break here. We are at 56 minutes. Okay. Agree overall, but would word it a bit differently. This is worded a bit awkwardly, in my opinion. Instead of saying, it feels like you want, I would rather just cut that first bit out and keep the rest as is. Just say, hi, grabbing a coffee was nice, but I'm not interested in dating as we are not a match. I mean, that's brutally honest, and that could work, but most women don't want to put it in that way and hurt the guy and be rude even though they're not interested in him. Okay? I think you need to take more of the subtle approach, especially for younger guys that aren't as experienced as guys like me. Guys like me can tell, if a woman is interested in me within, a couple of minutes of meeting in person with him. My lady and I knew instantly. When we locked eyes, when we met 5 months ago, we instantly felt it. It's either going to be there or it's not. But these younger guys don't have that experience to understand that, right? So you can't come out and just flat out say, I'm not interested in you because we're not a match, right? That's going to, hurt their feelings or get them to go crazy, even though they should be stronger. Guys are not that strong nowadays, especially when they're younger, until they build up to it when they get older, right? So I would just say, I realized that dating somebody from work is not a good thing because it can affect the workplace, and I don't want to do that to either one of us. So unfortunately, I don't think we should continue seeing each other. Best of luck to you. No problem, right? That's it, right? This comes across as much more easily to digest as a man than the above, in my opinion. Just my 2 cents, might be wrong. The way I said it is best, okay? But honestly, that's pretty direct, and we should be that up front. But with these younger guys, this here saying we're not a match is not going to really hit home. I think you need to put it a little bit more softly and say, hey, I just realized I shouldn't be dating somebody in the workplace as it could affect our careers, right? And that's that. All right. Let's go back to full screen. Information Man Show. Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Peace and respect. Hope you're well. I'm doing well. Thank you for being back. Do you like the new setup in the studio, man? I got this boom arm, and I put my Blue Yeti on it, coming above here closer to my lips for better sound. So hopefully this sounds a little bit better. I've done one stream since I got this, and I watched the replay, and the sound was great. This is a shock mount right here, and the shock mount allows the Blue Yeti to absorb any shock. Like if I hit the table, it will absorb the shock so it doesn't affect the sound. Plus, instead of using my pop filter, this $55 or $59 boom arm, heavy duty boom arm kit came with this foam for the Blue Yeti, which is technically a windscreen, but it's also a pop filter. And instead of having that big ass pop filter here, which would cover up all my face, I replaced it with the foam windscreen, and it works fantastic. So, yeah, Derek Gibson says you really have to sort through a lot of duds to find a stud. It's a long and semi-painful process. It is, but if you keep moving forward, then, everything will be all good. Eventually, you'll find the right person. Yeah, I'm doing well, Information Man Show. Information Man Show says, right, looks great. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Give me a second here, folks. We're going to cue up some royalty-free YouTube music and step away for a quick break and then come back with the final 3 Reddit postings, and they just get better. So give me a second here. Just need to cue up 4 songs here. Do 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 do. Need a couple of more. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a quick break, 10 minutes or maybe a little bit less, and then we're going to come back for the last 3 postings. The first one when we get back is going to be from the Purple Pill Debate subreddit, and the title is it just me or do women nowadays have so many dating options that it makes it hard to be their first-hand choice? After that, we're going to go to the subreddit Seduction, and the topic is what are some more natural ways to break the ice like this one? And last but not least, we're going to go to the subreddit relationships_advice, and the topic is girlfriend wants to go on vacation with her 2 best male friends. We're going to end up the night with the biggest doozy there. Girlfriend wants to go on vacation with her 2 best male friends. I think you all know how I feel about that one already. But stick around and find out more. So again, stick around, round. We'll be right back. back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Slow it down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Feel it. Feel it with me. Feel it. I want you all to feel real good. There's way too much hate and negativity and people that are not positive out here in this world. And you all need to rise above it all. And that's what I'm here to do. Peace, love, unity, and respect. Just like Information Man Show says, peace and respect to all. I love each and every one of you, regardless of what you think about me. Because honestly, when you come at me or come at people like me, it's just a self-reflection of yourself. That's all it is. That's all it is. And I want to help you rise above that so you become a better person, right? All right, lower the music, Eli. Lower the music. Lower the damn music. All right. All right, lower it. All right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube. Glad you could all join me here tonight. It is late Sunday night here on the West Coast, and it's practically early Monday morning everywhere else. I can't even talk. Whoa, my God, I'm jumbling my words because I'm so excited. Yeah, if you missed the first part of the show, go back and check out the replay. Shared a couple of great, interesting Reddit stories. 3 more to come in just a second. Before I get to that, I just want to remind you folks that if you would like to further support this channel monetarily, that's totally up to you. It's optional. There are many ways you can do it. If you're here... Well, I'm only broadcasting on YouTube right now. I used to simulcast these streams elsewhere, and I may start doing that again soon. But on YouTube, if you go to the bottom of the chat, there's a $sign. That's a super chat and super sticker. You can send a highlighted message of any amount up to, I believe, $500. And the greater the donation, the longer your highlighted message will stay at the top of the chat. You can also send a super sticker if you don't want to send a message. Additionally, Nightbot is sharing the links to my PayPal and my Cash App. So if you want to make a one-time donation there, you can. Donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. If you love this content and want to support it further, I would appreciate your support. And if you can't afford it or don't feel like donating and you just want to be a blood-sucking leech, that's okay too. I still love you if you're a blood-sucking leech. That's okay. That's okay. It is what it is, right? I'm feeling phenomenal tonight. I really, really love this shirt that my lady gave me yesterday. Like Under Armour, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, in my opinion, is now the go-to company for sporting apparel. Their quality is great. Yes, it is not cheap, right? You can find them on sale sometimes and get some great deals, but it is not cheap clothing. But here's the kicker. When you spend more money on clothing initially, your clothing will last longer. This shirt here is going to last me for like at least 5 years. Yeah. It is like a $40 shirt. My lady got it, I think, for $32 or something. She got a deal on it. I'm not trying to even talk about price, but the point I'm trying to make is this. You know, I'd rather spend $40 on a shirt that's going to last for 5 years and look great and feel great on me, right? Okay, than spend $10 on a shirt that's going to last 6 months, right? And then over 5 years, you know, you're buying 10 of those shirts for $10, it's $100. So you're spending way more money for crappier quality clothing, right? Okay. And also I tell people, even in this modern world where people feel that, you know, they can be a little more casual, sure you can, but you can still dress casually better. It's still very important to dress for success. And I got to tell you, some of the YouTubers I see out here that come into streams every day, and just, honestly, they look like vampires, right? I mean, they have like, you know, old raggedy shirts, and you know, they're all wrinkly and they just really don't look professional at all. Okay. You want to be successful, part of being successful is dressing successful and looking successful. You have to not only play the part, but you have to also dress the part as well. All right, folks. Let's get back to these Reddit postings here. I'm really super pumped up tonight. I'm having a great time tonight. Let's get back to it. Go back to the browser source. This is from one of my favorite subreddits, as I always say, the Purple Pill Debate subreddit. Derek says, most streamers and YouTubers look very unhealthy. Well, Derek, the reason is because they are very unhealthy. And it shows by the way they dress. It shows by the way they lack taking care of themselves. And, those creators are going to, attract other like-minded people that don't take care of themselves. And you know how the rest plays out, right? Like attracts like. Professional people are going to attract more professional people, right? And people that are lacking professionalism and taking care of themselves are going to attract those types of people. That's just the way it goes, I think that there's a bigger and better, longer lasting, long-term type of market when you're more professional. And that's what I preach. But hey, to each its own, right? I'm not here to tell people how to be or what to do. I'm here to help people get what they want. All right. So let me see here. Scroll up here and read the topic of this posting. Is it just me, or do women nowadays have so many dating options that it makes it hard to be their first-hand choice? Interesting. Is it just me, or do women nowadays have so many dating options that it makes it hard to be their first-hand choice? Well, here's what I think about that title before I read the brief posting and get some comments here. Okay? Like I've always said, attraction is a must and not a choice. Okay? Both the man and the woman, when they first meet in person, are going to know literally within a few seconds if there's a large rush or spark of physical attraction. If that's not there, it doesn't matter what else happens, right? And if you're a guy like myself that's older and been around to be able to figure out pretty quickly if a woman is attracted to me or not, okay? When I was single, I wouldn't waste my time, prolonging, a first date if I didn't sense that she was really into me from the very beginning, right? And in order to do that, in my opinion, I wouldn't go to coffee on a first date, and I wouldn't meet during the daytime. I would meet in the evening. And if you have women that are saying that, I prefer to meet during the daytime, I don't want to meet at night because there are crazies out there and this and that, I wouldn't even give those women a chance, because those women are afraid to let their guard down to allow what should be happening on a first date if these are meant to be, such as any sign of affection. That's why you never meet women during the daytime, and you should never meet them for coffee. I mean, if you want to meet in the late afternoon / early evening while there's still a little bit of light out, and go on a walk at the park, or take a short hike where you're not getting deep into the woods, like, a short little hike where there are a lot of people around, that's a great way to do it. And you'll know if there's attraction, by the end of the date or pretty quickly. That way, you're not stuck in a coffee shop, you're not spending any money, and it's not as awkward of a feeling. And if you both don't feel it, then you just part ways, and that's that, right? Okay? But it's not necessarily that, women have a lot of options, that it makes it harder to be their first-hand choice. It's all about attraction, okay? Both men and women are going to be talking to a lot of different, people, right? And you're all going to have your top choice, and then your first and second backup, and maybe a few other backups. And the way to tell if you're a woman's first choice is if you're a guy, the way to tell if you're a woman's first choice is how quickly is she communicating with you. Okay, if a woman's really into you, she will get back to you right away. She will message you on the dating app or dating site, and you ask for her number. She'll give you her number. And then you get on the phone and you'll have a conversation pretty quickly, and she'll communicate with you regularly throughout each day until you meet. And you shouldn't delay meeting. You should meet as soon as possible after having a phone call if that goes well, right? So that's that. Let's read what this person wrote. It feels like I can raise attraction and have a good relationship, but I know that it probably isn't that special to her, and that she probably not only texts me or has me, but also other guys. Thus, she acts like I am special with me, but then at the end of the day, there are other guys she does the same thing to, and I will never be special. Well, that's a crappy attitude to have, dude. You should know deep within that you are special within yourself, and you are special to yourself, right? And your attitude should be, one day, one lucky woman will see how special I am without me even having to try, just by being myself, and things will pan out, right? But you're going to go through a lot more bad seeds to get to the good one, right? It's called the vetting process. And both men and women are talking to lots of people. And like I said, you're going to know when you're someone's top choice by their level of communication. It's going to be constant and not, once a day or every other day or once a week or so. If you have a woman that's messaging you every other day or, once a week or so, and it's not consistent, that means she has someone else at the top of her list that she's being consistent with. Have a little common sense, all right? So that's the thing right there. Let's read a few comments here. I think there are signs when she thinks you're her first-hand choice. It is best to just go after girls who obviously are smitten by you. Unfortunately, this never happens for a lot of men. First of all, for your first sentence, I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Because that is true. Your first sentence makes perfect sense. Your second one, unfortunately, this never happens for a lot of men. No, it happens to all men when that particular man comes across the right woman that's totally into him. You just have to keep on putting yourself out there and keep trying until that woman comes around. But a lot of you guys, talk to some women, a few women, for a little while, and they're kind of stringing you along, getting back to you every other day or so, and then you just get discouraged and you give up right before the right one was going to show up. So don't give up. The right one will eventually show up, and you will just know it. She will be smitten by you. My woman is smitten by me. Baby, I know you are, but I feel the same way about you. But yeah, you want a woman like my woman. Like, she just likes me for me. I don't even have to try. And I do because I care about her. I do try and put effort into it, but I do it because I know she's into me, and she's shown me that she's into me, right? And she showed me right away. It was simple. Okay? If she's not really into you, every part of it super difficult. It should be every part of it is super difficult. She will give little effort. Like I said a second ago, it will be a frame of her judging you. No, it's just she's not feeling it. She's not attracted to you. She's not feeling it. There's no judging going on there. Attraction is a must and not a choice. She will look for things wrong in you. No, she's just not feeling it. Women either feel it or they don't, just like men either feel it or they don't. And likely she'll really want someone else anyway, even if you do get into a relationship. Dude, this is a crappy attitude. You've been hanging around the red pill community too much, and it's messed you up, brother. Jesus, man. God. This guy is called Frosty the Snowman. Perplexed fella. God. What's happened to our men nowadays? They stopped being men. They're more concerned about, why women won't give them the time of day than just focusing on their purpose and being naturally attractive to women and letting the women come to them. They're chasing women. That's the problem. Guess you've got to find a woman who knows it ain't a game. Then, they are few and far between, just like really good men are few and far between. Well, that's kind of true. I mean, there are a lot of decent people out there. The bottom line is, a decent person is still not going to give you the time of day if they're not attracted to you. That's what it is. Just because someone's not attracted to you doesn't mean that they're not a decent person. It just means they're not attracted to you. Have you, as a guy, ever been approached by women you're not attracted to? Right? I mean, it's the same thing on the flip side. Why is it different, on one side than the other? It's the same for both sides. That's life, homie. Just got to embrace it. Yeah, it is what it is. Don't settle for someone who's settling for you. Make yourself valuable and put up with no shit. I will agree with that. Big round of applause. Yeah. Build your value as a man. Focus on your purpose. Better yourself each and every day. And eventually the right one will come along and accept you for who you are. And you won't even have to try. 4 more replies. Okay, you were my hero as a child. Can't believe I'm messaging you. You're a legend. Huh. Thanks. I get that a lot. This is the perplexed fellow guy. Little known fact, I didn't actually die at the end. I got taken to the top secret facility where they cyanogenically preserved. Walt Disney, sorry. The internet is effectively my own interaction with the outside world now, but hey, it is better than melting. All right, I don't need to read any of that. They're just messing around. Every single woman has tons of options. That's true. But men can have lots of options too if they have a great profile, great pictures, and know how to communicate. That's it. If you don't beat that into your soul, you're guaranteeing yourself heartbreak. It doesn't matter if she's your wife. She can get a man at any time. Okay? Yeah, I would say it's a little easier for women nowadays because there are so many thirsty beta males behaving like you guys, right? You guys are giving women all the options by being so thirsty. Just be less thirsty and let the women chase us, right? But you guys are too young to understand that. I was young once too and didn't get it at that age, but now I do, and I'm trying to help you guys. And now with the internet, we had the internet when I was younger, but it wasn't as advanced as it is today with these forums and YouTube and all that. You guys have all the material you need to become a better guy at a younger age that I didn't have at your age in my teens and 20s. So use it. Okay? If you're a man, you're entirely replaceable. It doesn't matter how good you look or how much effort you put in. Replaceable. I'm sick and tired of the red pill community, instilling this into young men's brains. Okay? The truth of the matter is men and women are both replaceable. Anyone can be replaceable. Okay? It's not just men being replaceable. The reason why you guys have been led to believe that nowadays is because of the excessive options women have, because of how thirsty you guys are in chasing them. Come on, guys. Just stop chasing women. Stop being so thirsty and weak and needy and desperate, and that will change the dating market around. That's why they send us to our deaths, no problem, LOL. Live for yourselves, kings. That's a shit attitude. That's all I'm going to say about that. Lots of men like fighting and competing and the things that result from it. I don't like fighting and competing. I'm just myself, and that's why I've had success at dating and in life. No one has to force them to do it. Quite the opposite. Why else do we have laws and prison to deter it? Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that. All civilization was just an effort to impress the opposite sex and sometimes the same sex. Futurama explained it pretty well. No wonder society is crumbling. Well, it's crumbling in your eyes. In my eyes, it's great because I make it great. Each one of you men out there can make your life as best as possible, with or without a woman. That's what you guys don't get. You guys are depending on women for your happiness, and that's really pathetic. I mean, what guy wouldn't want to have a good woman? But a real strong man is going to live his life for himself first, and then if the right woman comes along, he'll incorporate her into his life, and she'll incorporate him into her life. Let's see here. Right, that's why dudes like to watch and support other dudes doing sports or other competitive endeavors, often by doing dumb shit and ignoring women to impress chicks, sure. The more you try to impress women, the less women are going to be impressed by you. That's all I have to say about that. That's stupid. Just be yourself. Reword this in a more understandable way and I'll respond. I don't know how much more clear you could have been. Are you saying that guys who play sports don't get attention from women? No, they do, but probably for the wrong reasons. They know that these guys make lots of money and they're in really good shape and they get a lot of attention from other women. And that's what's attractive about these guys to these women. No, I specified watching supporting sports because that aspect is not a factor. Why would men passively support / experience conflict if they derive no direct sex from it unless they actually enjoy it? Yeah, you guys are just being angry and bitter here. Because it is fun, men and women both like sports and competitive games. Well, yeah, it's fun to compete at times and play sports and all that. But, sports should be more than just a competitive thing. They should just be something you do for exercise and for the love of the game. But most guys and gals compete because they feel the need to be better than each other. That's an insecurity. A secure person will play sports for the fun of it, for, the health aspect, and for the love of the game. Bottom line, right. But are men sitting on their butts screaming and becoming emotional, getting wasted, and basically ignoring women in favor of other men doing stuff in order to get women to think they are hot and want to fuck them? Me thinks not, but let's see what you come up with. That's really ridiculous. What this is telling me is that you guys feel that you have to go way out of your way and do certain things to have a chance with women. When the truth of the matter is, all you have to do is be your fucking selves. That's it. That's the bottom line. All right. So that's it for that one. Let's get to the next one here. We are at 1 hour and 34 minutes. That's true. More specific information, man, show if you're still around. What were you saying that's true so I can respond to you on that? I'll check back in on the chat in just a few here. Let's see. This next posting is from the subreddit Seduction, and the original poster's title is, what are some more natural ways to break the ice like this one? What are some more natural ways to break the ice like this one? And this is what he wrote. I'm very direct naturally, so I think I need to tone it down a bit and be slightly less direct by starting a conversation more naturally and make it seem like I'm not there just to get her. Being direct's a great thing. Being direct and decisive is one of the best ways to attract the right woman. A woman that questions you for being direct is not a healthy enough woman and not in the right place to be with a good man like you and she's playing games. In the past when I was single, when I would get on the phone with some women, they would say, "Oh, you sound like a radio DJ, like a talk show host." And when I tell them what I do, then they understand why. And then they start being judgmental that some of them were being judgmental that I'm a life coach, and and then they would start to say, "Well, you're starting to talk to me like you're like I'm a client or something like that." And that wasn't the case. That was not the case. That's just how I naturally am. That's my voice. That's who I am. See, a woman that's going to be like that is actually being judgmental. And that's telling me, or that was telling me back then, that she's just not the right woman and she's a game player. She's just seeking attention and validation. It's a waste of time to continue with her, right? But I've learned, how to pick up on those things as I've gotten older. You young guys, I know it's not easy to pick up on this. And that's why I do what I do. And that's why there are these forums on Reddit. So an example is, can you hold this pizza box for me so I can put coat on, and then commenting on the cold, etc. What are some more simple things like this to begin conversation in different situations? Well, it depends if you're meeting a woman in person or online. Okay? If you're cold approaching women, you're in the moment. You see a woman walking down the street, she's attractive, and you just want to say hi. You can go up there and just say, "Hey, how you doing?" I know this sounds kind of odd. I just saw you walking down the street. You look fantastic and you have a great smile. You have a few minutes to talk? I mean, that's all you can do. And in most cases, you're probably going to get rejected because they may have a boyfriend or they could be married or they might be busy to get somewhere else, but you might get lucky a time or two. That's why I'm not really big on cold approaching. But if you're going to do cold approaching, depending on the environment, just be natural, right? Okay. If you're in a social setting, like if you go to, like a meetup group or something like that, and you're surrounded by people, right? You're in a more natural setting with people in a group. You can just have a natural conversation and say, "Hey, my name is Bob. Nice to meet you, Jennifer. Hey, what brings you to the group here?" I mean, just have a natural conversation. Don't overthink it. When you overthink it, women pick up on that, and they know you're trying to figure out the best way to try to land them, and that's when you guys lose. Just be yourself. Through online dating and stuff, it's a lot easier because typically people are single there, and they state what they're looking for in their profile, and then you just have a natural conversation accordingly. So that's how you break the ice. It's pretty simple. Just be yourself. Don't overthink things. You guys overthink things with women, and that turns them off. It really does. Derek says, host, that shirt is so sharp. I just ordered the exact same one, $40 on UA website. Can't wait to wear it out. That's awesome, dude. My lady got it on Amazon for $32 on a special. But yeah, it's $40 regular. Yeah, you really like this shirt, huh? What I like about it is it actually looks pretty professional for the in-studio streams. But you can even wear this out probably like on a date or even on like a walk or something. Like it's a collared shirt, man. It's like a sporty collared shirt. And honestly, I even like these better than my Calvin Klein CK, liquid cotton polo shirts. Oh, it's awesome, bro. Well, unpaid endorsement. UA is going to love your business. It's worth it, man. That shirt is so sharp. I just ordered the exact same one, $40 on UA website. Can't wait to wear it out. Yeah, when you order directly from UA, from Under Armour, sometimes it takes a while to get stuff because they ship from different parts of the country in the U.S. And, I had one order that took like 2 weeks to receive, but it's totally worth it. Most things will come within like half a week to a week, but sometimes they take up to 2 weeks. It's worth the wait. And UA, Under Armour, is an official sponsor of the NFL, and they make a lot of the clothing for the NFL. I think they even make their jerseys too. So anyway. All right. Let's see here. What are some more simple things like this to begin conversation in different situations? Well, let's see what the people in the comments section said. We'll read a few of these and get to the final post in here because that's like saving the best for last there. I found improv to work for me. Improv's a good way to look at it. You improvise. You feel the situation out and you respond according to how you feel. Women respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment, right? Okay. Why is it so difficult for men to respond to how they're feeling in that present moment? Right? What's wrong with that? Right? Why do you have to figure out what to say? Right? If you say something that's wrong to the woman because you're being yourself, then you two weren't meant to be with each other. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Just be yourself. Like pulling topics from the environment. Example, like you said, commenting on the weather. But what do I do when approaching someone? I'm scanning the room before time. Sorry. Then I find a topic, and that's my icebreaker. When you're in person, it's simple. Hey, how's it going? My name is Eli. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Blah, 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 right? And you just start off simply by saying, hi, how are you? How difficult is that? And you look to see their reaction, okay? You look to see if they feel comfortable, if they sound excited, right? Hey, I'm Jennifer. Nice to meet you too, Eli. Wow. Wow, you have a lot of energy, Eli. Where do you get your energy from? I just like to have a positive spirit. I like, just, I'm just full of energy. That's it. Something like that. Just go with the flow, right? And, she may ask you something or you may ask her something. Just go with the flow, whatever feels right in that situation. Or if she's wearing something, you can even compliment her on her, her clothing or something, right? Like, look, Derek in the chat was complimenting me on my Under Armour shirt. Hey, wow, those are some nice Under Armour, sweats there. I love Under Armour, great quality and blah, blah, blah. Are you a hiker? Do you enjoy hiking? Because I love hiking. Do you love hiking? Oh yeah, I love hiking. Then you could say, hey, maybe we can go on a hike together sometime and, get to know each other better. Throw that in there. And you'll see how she responds. She'll say, yeah, that's cool. Let's trade numbers. Or she may say, well, I have a boyfriend, this and that. But, maybe we can get a group setting or something like that, right? Then you'll know your answer. Just be yourself. Be natural. That's all. That's all you have to do. Example. I know helpful examples are downvoted and frowned on in here, but here it goes. Last time someone kissed me, I started by asking her what she was drinking. Why? Because you could smell that on her breath. It was in an aluminum can, and I roasted her for it, and then she started defending it because she literally liked it better with aluminum, and we bickered. Dude, that's a dumb move. The woman was kissing you, and you criticized her instead of just giving into the kiss, right? Instead of saying, instead of criticizing her, you could say, wow, what is that I'm tasting in your mouth? Tastes really good, right? Dude, you're turning the woman off by saying stupid shit. Other examples would be music, the workers doing weird things, cool facts about the building if you know them, some interaction you had earlier. It could be anything, but just be yourself, okay? Be natural, be yourself. Feel it out and see how it goes. And if a woman is really into you, she's going to make it easy for you by her asking you questions, right? When women are into you guys, they ask you questions and all you have to do is answer them, right? That's another thing to look for. Or find some random person in the venue and make shallow assumptions about them. I bet that guy is from X town. That date looks like it's going terrible. No, don't do that. Listen, when you first meet a woman, those are the kind of things you don't want to do. And you really shouldn't be that judgmental anyway. But if you're going to talk about things like, I bet that guy is from X town, that date looks like it's going terrible, right? If you're going to talk like that, you want to be in an established relationship first. So on the first meeting, you got to almost be like on your best behavior. You got to be cool, calm, and collected, right? Allow the woman to get to know you and build up a level of comfort. And then, down the road, couple weeks, a month down the road, then, you can start talking about stuff like this. You go out and you see other couples and you're like, wow, babe, I feel bad for that couple over there. They look miserable, and hey, I'm glad that we're happy, because, I wouldn't want to be like that. That's okay at that point, but not in the very beginning. Either she totally agrees, gets super offended, or asks why. No matter what, that starts a conversation. You want to keep it positive and interesting and exciting. You guys are trying to bring in negative stuff because, you're thinking that it's going to, engage her in an interesting way. And that is not interesting. Negative stuff to women are not interesting, okay? In essence, what you're trying to do is make it appear that you're not overly interested by not talking about more direct things that show your interest in a way a good man would show. And that's, women pick up on that and they're instantly turned off. That's what you guys don't get. Let's read one more before we get to the final posting here. Yeah. That first example with the can is the best approach. To approach someone and put them down rather than try to flatter them actually works a lot better. No, that is not good. No, 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 no. Approach someone and put them down rather than try to flatter them actually works a lot better. It's not like putting them on a pedestal that makes them want you. I think what you guys are trying to say is this. You're not necessarily trying to put the woman down. You're trying to be sarcastic. You're being sarcastic, charming, and witty. You're like busting your chops, you know? Like, for example, what's a good example? You know, like, I'm trying to think of an example where you could say some sarcastic remark that would show you have balls to respond to a woman in that way, and you don't fear her rejecting you for being yourself. I can't think of any example, but it's not about putting them down. It's about just being sarcastic and saying things and taking risks and not fearing the woman rejecting you for taking a risk saying something, you know, charming, witty, and sarcastic, right? And call her out, even on a first date, call her out, you know, on stuff, right? Yeah, but don't try to overly flatter a woman, or don't even try to flatter her at all, and don't try to put her down. Just be charming, witty, sarcastic, have some flirtatious fun. That's the best way to do it. All right, so that's enough of this one here from the seduction subreddit. Let's go to the final one here. We are at 1 hour and 48 minutes. Get your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in about 15 to 20 minutes. This one is a little bit longer and very interesting. Save the best from last. From the subreddit relationships_advice. Okay. The original poster's title is GF girlfriend wants to go on vacation with her two best male friends. Whoa. One more time. GF wants to go on vacation with her two best male friends. Does she want you to go along with her, or does she want to go by herself? Yeah, I mean, honestly, right out of the get-go, I mean, I've read this, but out of the get-go after reading the title, you know, this wouldn't make me happy. If my woman were to tell me she wanted to go on vacation with her two best guy friends from high school that are in another country or another state and not want me to go with her, that's an obvious thing what's going to happen. Put two and two together. Come on. A woman that's really into you is going to prioritize you, is going to make her, you know, is going to make you, the love of her life. Is going to not let any other man or any other situation lead you to believe that there's anyone else in the picture because she's really, truly into you. Let's read what he wrote. I have been dating this girl for a year now, and everything is going great. We get along in every single aspect. So you think, brother. So you think. She has male best friends, and I happen to have best girlfriends. So we never had an issue with trust and being open about having friends from the opposite sex. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as when you are usually hanging out with these opposite sex friends that you say are just friends, most of the time you and your lady are together, right? And why would you as a guy prefer to spend time with your lady friends over your actual woman? And why would your woman prefer to spend her time and go on vacation with her two best male friends over going on vacation with you? I mean, that's a real simple question. That's an honest question there. About a month ago, two of her best male friends since high school moved out of the country. They both moved to different areas, so the group is now all over the map. They both wanted my GF to come over to one of their places for 5 days and just hang out. I guess do tourist stuff. And I felt, yes, we can do that, but apparently they only want her to come. Come on, dude. Does it really take a rocket scientist to figure out why they want her to come? Do I even have to say it, bro? I think the dumbest guy on the planet can figure out what's happening here or what they're trying to set up here, right? They did this years before, and they are trying to recreate the experience, as she says, but I don't know. Trust her. And what is IDK? I think is it I don't know. But I don't trust her, I think is what he's saying, and I'm confident, but I do trust her. Okay. And I'm confident enough to let her have male friends, but I feel like this is crossing a line I have never crossed. Bro, this is 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000%, 1,000,000,000% crossing the line. This is crossing the line, period. These guys are trying to get her there, so either one or both of them can have their way with her, and she may be interested in having her way with them. And if she really loved you, respected you, and cared about you, she would never put you in this position. Now, if she was single, different story, but she's not single, right? This is the true test if your relationship will stand the test of time, okay? You've been dating for a year, everything seems to be going great, right? And all of a sudden, out of the blue, this comes up. Obviously, bro, she may be feeling like something is lacking in your relationship. Some excitement is lacking that these high school friends that still happen to be guys, can provide for her. I don't want to feel like I'm controlling or deciding for her, but I had to let her know my feelings about it. Well, good for you. You have the right to share your feelings because she is crossing the line, bro. And honestly, if she even has the thought, her even having the thoughts of doing this would be grounds enough for me to break up with her. Because if she's even thinking of this and proposes this and says she wants to go do this, in essence, she is completely flat out disrespecting you. That is the bottom line. That is the absolute bottom line. Let's see here. She decides not to go, but I'm just kind of feeling super weird about it, like I said, and I don't want to be looked at controlling or anything. And I know this may pop out again in the future trip, and I just don't know. I think you meant to say if I'm being reasonable. You left the word out. If I'm being reasonable, or am I being a complete asshole? No, dude. You are completely reasonable. You're not being an asshole. Okay? And she said she decided not to go, right? Which honestly is the right thing to do. Maybe she realized that if she goes, she's going to be completely flat out disrespecting you. And if she really likes what she has with you, she's probably going to lose it. She's going to probably have to give up what she has with you to do this. I think in her head, she weighed the pros and the cons. I think her friends reaching out like they used to in the past when she was single excited her, right? But then, this is what happens with women. Women, it's just so funny. Women's emotions are in the present moment. They respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And here's the thing, guys. You ever gone on a date with a woman and you have a great first date, okay? Things are going well. Let's say you even make out with her. You don't sleep with her, but you make out with her in your car or something like that. And it just seems like it's going great, right? And then, you kiss each other as she leaves, goes to her car, and, you take off in your car, right? All right. It's not over yet. I'm not saying, how do I say this the right way? You're not in the clear yet, which is what I'm trying to say. What happens is after something like that, women will go home and they'll think about what happened, and they'll overthink it because they're emotional beings. That's how they are. And then they'll sleep and they'll wake up the next morning and they'll see how they feel the next morning. They'll see how they feel the next morning regarding what happened the night before, right? So this is the same thing that probably happened to your lady. She got excited over this, and then she mentioned it to you because she wanted to be honest with you about it. And then maybe you mentioned something, and you kind of told her how you felt, which is the right thing to do, right? And then she went to sleep and got up the next morning and thought about it again and realized that it's just not right to do this to my man. So she decided not to go. Now, if I was you, if you haven't done this, I would let her know, listen, babe, I love you. I care about you. You're an amazing woman. We've had a great year together, and I would really like to see this continue moving forward if you want to move forward with me. But I'm just letting you know that if this comes up in the future again, honestly, if this is going to come up in the future again and you may consider doing something like this, I would rather cut our losses right now and move on. You got to be a man and stand up to her and put up your boundaries, right? And at that point, if she sticks around, and let's say you're even talking with her in person about it at that point, you tell her that, one of two things are going to happen. She's either going to, not like that and part ways, or she's going to really understand where you're coming from and really fear losing you because of her stupidity. In this case, let's call it that. And she'll just grab you and start making out with you because you're being a man and you're standing up for yourself. When you're a man and you stand up for yourself in a mature and respectful way towards women, and you just call them out like this, you have the balls to do it, it turns them on, usually. And if it doesn't turn them on and they're offended by it, then they're just not into you enough. Then you both cut your losses even after a year and move on before you invest more time, more emotion, and then when you finally break up, it'll be more painful. All right, let's read a few comments here before we go off the air. We're at 1 hour and 59 minutes, almost at 2 hours. We'll be wrapping up the show soon. Please get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. All right. It was all good until they didn't want you to come. That's not what friends do. I'm a girl, and when one of my guy friends gets a new girlfriend, I do everything I can to make her feel welcome into the group. I couldn't even imagine inviting him on a trip and saying his girlfriend is not invited. God. No comment. You all know what the answer is to that. Come on, I don't have to say anything about that. It speaks for itself. I couldn't even imagine inviting him on a trip. Oh, sorry, I already read that. If I did that, I feel like he would take it as an insult. Of course he wouldn't come, and our friendship would be broken. That's true. If these friends are even comfortable asking for her not inviting you along, is a huge red flag. Amen. It says a lot about her. Big round of applause. I've been saying that all along. It's nice to hear some people in the comment section saying it too. Excellent. Excellent. It's not about being controlling. It's about having boundaries. Big round of applause again. That's what I said. It's about having boundaries. And guys, with women, you got to set your boundaries. They're going to set their boundaries with you. You got to set your boundaries with the woman you're with. If not, you're in a world of emotional shit. Trust me. Give me a second. Got to clear my throat. I got to mute. All right. We should be back here. We are. Having boundaries is 100% okay for both of you. It's not just okay, it's a requirement. If you're uncomfortable with the idea, talk to her. Let her know you trust her, but the idea of her going on vacation with her two guy friends makes you feel uneasy. Should you trust a woman that's considering going on a trip by herself to meet her old high school guy friends in a different country that just moved to a different country from the States? Come on. Don't be naive. Don't be that naive. Side note, why don't her friends want you to come along? Do you all get along? Do I really have to give the answer? Her two guy friends want to bang the living you-know-what out of her. Or at least one of them. Come on. Jesus Christ. Why would any woman want to go fly to another country to hang out with two of her high school guy friends just because they've always hung out before and just to play Monopoly or, go hang out for dinner or go for coffee, or just to talk the good old days? Come on. Jesus. It's odd that they specifically don't want you going. Red flag, red flag, red flag. I agree. Triple red flag in my eyes, too. And a woman responds here and says, yeah, no way. And they don't want you going. F that crap. Right. And if she's okay with them excluding you, extra red flag. Not a chance in hell I would be okay with that. Right. And she realized it and she said, I'm not going. Right? I mean, honestly, the fact that she even considered going, even for half a day, would be a red flag for me to the point of where I would consider leaving that relationship. The fact that she showed that intent means that she's capable of doing the wrong thing. That's my opinion. Should be a fact. That's my opinion. How would she feel if you were going off on vacation with two women and she wasn't allowed to come with you? I have a feeling she wouldn't be cool with it. Yeah, that'd be like me going to my wonderful lady of 5 months now and saying, hey, babe, these two women that, I knew from high school, they want me to go visit them in New York for like a week. And they just want to hang out with me and catch up, old times. Well, babe, can I come with you? Well, they don't have any room for you, babe. They just want me to go. I mean, we're just friends. I mean, are you cool with that? I mean, listen to how that sounds. I mean, honestly, even if the whole thing was innocent, which in most cases it's not, right? Even if the whole thing was innocent, why would you want to do that to your lady? Why would you want to give her any reason to feel more insecure than women naturally feel insecure about their relationships, even if they're going good? That's just a dumb thing to do. That's a dumb thing to do, right? If two people are happy with each other, they're gonna do most of everything together. And if they go on vacations, even with friends and stuff, they're gonna go there as a couple. Every woman I've been with, where there's been a situation like this with other people around, we've always gone together as a couple. If one side of the couple wants to exclude the other, especially when that one side is excluding them and then going to hang out with the opposite sex and say they're friends, that's a big, huge red flag right there. To choose to be with someone means to give up people and events sometimes. In the long run, it is worth a partnership. In the long run, it's worth a partnership is to construct something new where both fit in. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. It's all over the place, so I'm not even going to respond to it. Let her go in the trip, you mean on the trip, and leave her at the same time. You know what? Fuck it. Big round of applause for that. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I would have said initially, now my woman would never do this to me, but if she did, what I would tell her is, babe, go ahead and go on that trip with your guy friends. But enjoy your time with them and enjoy the rest of your life because I'm done. That's what I would do. A woman even thinking about doing something like that is disrespecting you and the relationship completely. When a girl has a guy convinced he's an asshole because she wants to go away with two other guys, she has won and he has lost. I promise you it's not platonic. But apparently they only want her to come. Exactly. They don't want you. Not hard to imagine they're going to spit roast her again. Couple more here, then I'm going off the air. This is a hard spot to be in for sure. All comes down to trust, but the fact they don't want you to go is sus, but understandable in a way. How's your relationship with her friends? It's not understandable at all. That's ridiculous. That's all I'm going to say about that. The original poster states this. To be honest, you have only hung out with them twice. So, he's saying, to be honest, I think he meant to say, I have only hung out with them twice. So I have not had the chance to go. I haven't had the chance to get to know them. And it is hard because even when the chance comes to hang out and get to know each other, such as now, I'm excluded because they, the guy, want to recreate their vacation when they were younger. Well, I would ask your lady, if I was you, I would say, have you ever dated any of these guys or been intimate with them? Look her right in the eye and ask her, right? There must be some kind of chemistry there with one or both of the guys. If she would even consider doing this while she's been with you for a year. A couple more things here. Sorry. Have they said we don't want your BF to join, or have they said we want you to visit to your GF? Because there's a big difference. I get it's a red flag if they said specific that they don't want you to join, but for them to just say to their best friend of many years to come and visit is not weird. It is when it's two guys and, she has a boyfriend. Some people just don't think it is the same when their friend all of a sudden became this Siamese twin with their new partner and don't do anything without their partner. You're overthinking this. It's just not the same to hang out. I do not mean that they don't like you. It's just that they choose to be friends with your GF. You are just this extra person that she chose. They didn't choose you. This is really ridiculous. I wouldn't be putting up with this for a second. That whole last comment there was a bunch of hogwash. All right, final comment here before we go off the air from the original poster. Yes, he has made it clear he only wants her and the other guy to visit. I get the whole I was not part of their life or they did not choose me, but she chose me. She wants me to be a part of her life, and I never said don't go. But I did say it makes me uneasy, especially because I'm not allowed to come. But yeah, this is a run-on sentence. I would not let, I'm just reading it the way he wrote it, would not let my friends define my time with her, so it makes me feel like I'm bought being considered in her decision. Or you mean not being considered in her decision? You're not. She's not taking you into consideration at all, or she didn't initially. And then you said she decided not to go, which is the right thing, and probably saved your relationship, right? Okay? The bottom line is when you're in a relationship, okay, anything like this is something that any normal couple would do together, okay? Why would you want to travel out of the country without your romantic partner? And instead, go and visit, two opposite sex friends. In this case, this is a woman that wanted to leave her male romantic partner behind to go and visit two male friends from high school that now live in a different country. Doesn't want to bring her man. As a couple, if you really love each other, nothing wrong with this situation as long as your man can tag along. He should be able to tag along. And if you are willing to leave your man behind, that's saying a lot about how you feel about him in the relationship. That's the bottom line. And that's where we're going to wrap this baby up here today. Let's go back to full screen and wrap this up. Great stories tonight. Very interesting. I'm going to try to do some crazy dating stories or some more in-studio live streams once or twice a week. I'm also going to try and get some more pre-recorded content coming later this week. There's so much more coming to this channel, folks. I really want to help each and every one of you learn these principles. Learn how to become the best possible version of yourself you can be. learn to decipher, the right and wrong people to hang out with. So that way you're not wasting your time, right? That's what I do here. So with that being said, going to wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you to Derek for being here and Information Man Show for being here in the chat. I will be back tomorrow for a Walking with Purpose stream and maybe another in-studio stream. And I'm also going to be more than likely recording some more pre-recorded content, such as bedtime stories with Eli and some other stuff. There's plenty of content on this channel for you folks, both pre-recorded and live stream replays. If you like shorter form content, go to my playlists and you can find the bedtime stories with Eli and other videos that are 30 minutes or less in length. Some of them are 10 to 15 minutes. Some are up to 30 minutes. If you like longer form content like this, if you're working a job and you like listening to, stories like this and stuff like this in the background, maybe this longer form content is better for you. So I have a little bit of everything for everyone here. So, gonna wrap it up. Have yourselves a great night. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. Bye. Bye.